for loved ones, friends, and the community at large. These individuals and groups are represented by the lights on the beautiful tree in the lawn of our 90-year-old hospital. All right, good evening and welcome to our 38th Annie Penn Tree of Hope ceremony. We're so glad that y'all are joining us on camera and out here braving the cold weather, but it's wonderful to be together. Like I said, this is the 38th year that we've had our Tree of Hope ceremony. It is done by the Annie Penn Auxiliary, which is made up of our volunteers. So I do want to thank them. I want to thank everybody here and everybody behind the scenes that helps us with this event. We all have traditions, and whether it's with family, friends, work, and I'm very blessed that this is the third year that this gets to be part of my Christmas tradition. So Angie Orth, our hospital president, she's not able to be here with us today. She has gone to some training out of state, but she did have a message that she wanted me to share. And she says, on behalf of Cone Health's Annie Penn Hospital, I want to thank you for your participation in this very special event. And I deeply regret that I am not able to be here with you to celebrate the beginning of the holiday season. This ceremony is such a meaningful occasion. Not only does it mark the start of the holiday season, it is a symbol of hope in our community. This tree is lit with beautiful lights to honor and memorialize those that mean the most to all of us. Individuals in our community have donated funds to show respect for loved ones, friends, and the community at large. These individuals and groups are represented by the lights on the beautiful tree in the lawn of our 90-year-old hospital. I want to thank the Annie Penn Auxiliary for their service and commitment to our patients and community. Without them, this event would not be possible. My prayer is that this tree will represent hope to you and will provide a bright light to you and your family during the very special holiday season. So I'd like to start this ceremony with Sayward Wilson, who is our chaplain here, and she has a very special message for us today.
Good evening. I want to start by lighting these 5 candles here, and Julie is going to help me with that. Each one means something different. The 5 candles are in honor of our loved ones. One is for our grief, one is for our courage, one is for our memories, one for our love, and one for our hope. The first candle represents our grief. The pain of losing you is as intense as our love for you. The second candle represents the courage to confront our sorrow, to comfort each other, and to change our lives. The third candle we light in your memory. The times we laughed, the times we cried, the times we were angry toward each other, the silly things you did, and the caring and joy you gave us. The fourth candle we light for our love. As we enter the holiday season and share this day of remembrance, we light this candle that your light may always shine. And the fifth we light for hope. Go ahead. That you will live on through us, never be erased from our memory, that your life continues to make a difference in the world, that you are proud of us, and that we will be together again. We love you. We remember you. Hope is a hard word for me these days. This time of year brings to me a sense of longing for loved ones that have passed. Christmas Day actually marks 21 years since my grandmother, Gladys Oma Bellegarde, died, as I held vigil next to her. I think of those who waited with me with such love and hope until it was clear that our vigil was at an end. What is the use of hoping when hope comes to such a pass? Jan Richardson spoke about hope in the wake of losing her husband Gary to cancer. She says, "For those in grief, it is common to encounter well-meaning people who seek to stir our hope by schooling us in God's ways, who want to tell us that our loss is part of a larger plan and a bigger mystery that we cannot know from here, but that we will understand one day. I have a tremendous tolerance," she goes on, "for mystery, a great capacity to abide in the unknown. In the wake of her husband's death, she says, I am clear that when it comes to suffering, in the astounding variety of forms by which we experience it in this world, it is not enough to chalk it up to mystery, to a larger plan," she says. "It is not that I am not interested in the bigger mystery, or in knowing that I might have a better grasp of it someday in another world. It's just that someday is not sufficient to get me through this day, to move me from one moment to the next in this world where Gary is not." We experience grief in different ways, do we not? And I acknowledge that amid my own grief, what I do know is that hope, inexplicably, has not left me. Hope is stubborn, you see. It lives in me and you, like a muscle that keeps reaching and stretching, or like my lung that keeps working even when I may not will it to, persisting in the constant intake and release of breath on which my life depends. There is mystery in this hope. There is a deep presence of mystery in our life with God. For Christians, it's about a hope that is bound together with the life of the risen Christ. For our Jewish brothers and sisters, it is about the coming of a Messiah. And for our Muslim friends, it's about living a life of love toward each other and Allah. As a Christian, I am uninterested in holding my hope in a someday realm. Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, prays specifically for his friends to be illuminated here and now, praying that God will give them a spirit of wisdom and revelation as they come to know God. He prays, quote, that the eyes of their hearts will be enlightened. Paul says, so that you may know what the hope to which God is calling you. For Paul, hope is about now. For him, this hope is active in our lives as we press into the mystery that attends us. That this hope breathes new life into us, encompassing us in the arms of a community that holds us up. Hope is not always comforting or comfortable. Hope asks us to open ourselves to what we do not know, to pray for light or for illumination in this life, to imagine what is beyond our imagining, to bear what seems unbearable. It calls us to keep breathing when someone we love has left us, to turn toward one another when we might prefer to turn away, to be alone. Hope draws our eyes and hearts toward a more whole future, but propels us also into the present, where God waits for us to work with Him toward a more whole world now, together. Amen. And now I'd like to welcome Diane Code, a soloist, and Pam Davidson, an interpretive dancer, for our time of music and interpretive dance.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Again, I'm Diane Code, and this is Pam Davidson. She will be dancing as I sing a song that is called The Alabaster Box. But I want to tell you a little bit about the alabaster box. The Bible speaks of the alabaster box in two references. One is when Mary bought her alabaster box to anoint Jesus. And then the song is talking about the other woman who came, that they gave her no name in the Bible. However, she made her way to Jesus when she found out he was coming, so that she could anoint him, because it was right before his crucifixion. And the people of the town thought that what she was doing was wasting the oil in the alabaster box, because that oil in those days was very, very expensive. But Jesus said to them, "Leave her alone. What she's doing is good, because I won't be with you always." So I would like to sing this rendition of the alabaster box. The room grew still as she made her way to Jesus. She stumbles through the tears that made her blind. She felt such pain. Some spoke in anger, heard folks whisper, "There's no place here for her kind." Still on she came, through the shame that flushed her face, until at last she knelt before his feet. And though she spoke no words, everything she said was heard, as she poured her love for the Master from her box of alabaster. I've come to pour my praise on him like oil from Mary's alabaster box. Don't be angry if I wash his feet with my tears, and I dry them with my hair. You weren't there the night Jesus found me. You did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his love all around me. And you don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. I can't forget the way life used to be. I was a prisoner to the sin that had me bound. And I spent my days pouring my life without measure into a little treasure box I thought I had found. Until the day when Jesus came to me and healed my soul with the wonder of his touch. So now I'm giving back to him all the praise he's worthy of. I've been forgiven, and that's why I love him wash his feet with my tears, and I dry them with my hair. My hair. You weren't there the night Jesus found me. You did not feel what I felt when he wrapped his loving arms around me. And you don't know the cost of the oil. No, you don't know the cost of my praise. You don't know the cost of the oil in my alabaster box. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane and Pam. That was lovely. I'm Stokes Ann Hunt, Executive Director for Cone Health, and it is my pleasure tonight to read our Tree of Hope Twinkling Lights names. Alec Clay Cobb, Ann Talley, Barbara and Larry Barefoot, Betsy Joe Thompson, Bill Banks, Dr. Bob and Denise Whitley, Bob Moss, Betty and Joy Latta, Burton Balsley, Carol Adams, Cecil Rand and family, Christopher Alston Carter, Clark Holt, Donna T. Banks, Dr. Irvin Richardson, Dude French, Edith Collins, employees and providers here at Annie Penn Hospital, Gladys Gunn, Gracie Ann Mitchell, Helen Kellum, James A. Stone, Jamie Robinson, Janelle Simpson, Janet Banks, Janice Sharp, Gerald Rice, Joe and Gail King, Johnny and Judy Apple, Judy Wilkins, Louis W. Boyd, Linda and Steve Graves, Mark and Phyllis Collins, Mike Moody, Mr. John W. Cromer, Jr., Miss Betty Jo Lukey, Miss Eva Cromer, Pete Pascal, Rachel and Jerry Archner, Rivers and Marianne Upchurch, Sadie Searles, Sonny Brown, Sanford Kellum, Stuart Balsley, the Taylor family, and Tommy Barbie. Thank you for being with us this evening. Turn it back over to Julie.
So that concludes our program. I'm always so happy and feel so blessed to be part of this. I think everybody that's here, and when you watch this, you'll see how special this time of year is, of course, and this event to our hospital and our community, and everybody that was involved just makes it that much more special. So thank you for joining us, and I pray that you have a wonderful holiday season.